In this video, I'm going to show you how I just planned 260 content topics in less than 15 minutes using ChatGPT for a lot of the heavy lifting, but using my own knowledge and mind to guide it. And 260 topics, by the way, is one for every weekday of the year. So if you want to have one piece of content, whether it's for social media or YouTube or a blog, for every weekday for the next year, you can use this process to come up with most of the topics that you'll use in 15 minutes or less. My name's Alex. I'm the owner of Lover Fighter Writer. And in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link to the spreadsheet that we're looking at right now. You're not going to have to opt in to get this. It'll just be a direct link right to this spreadsheet. And once you have it, you can go to File and Make a Copy to create your own version of it that you can edit. And you can also go to Add Shortcut to Drive if you want to make sure you get any updates that I might make to this spreadsheet. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how to actually use this to plan a year's worth of content topics. Here's a sneak peek of a little bit of what that looks like. But first, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to modify this spreadsheet if necessary, in case you don't know a lot about working with spreadsheets. So the way I've created it right now is that you would fill out the information at the top, and then you'd have a main topic. And then you would have 4 pillar topics that support that main topic. And I have this set up so that there's 4 pillar topics and space for 4 or 5 pillar subtopics for each pillar topic. And then there's space for 4 or 5 sample titles. And if you have 4 pillar topics and you create 4 subtopics for each of them, then that's 16 subtopics. And then if you turn each of those 16 subtopics into 15 to 20 content titles, you will be right around the 260 title mark. But if you want to have more rows here so you can have more subtopics or more titles, then just click anywhere in the bottom row here and say insert one and say insert one row above, and that will add an extra row. And if you want to have more than 4 pillar topics, then just click on the number that's directly beside one of the pillar topic rows and hit Control C. And then wherever you want to put a new one of these, just place the cell there and hit Control V, and that'll paste that in, and then you can just change this to the next one. Also, if you are clever enough to notice the special secret tab down here, I've got a link right here that goes to the landing page where you can sign up to access my list of ChatGPT marketing prompts, which looks like this. And you do need to go through and opt in for that one, but I promise you it's worth it. I send lots of helpful stuff to my email list every week. And of course, you can unsubscribe anytime you want. But as I mentioned, the direct link to this spreadsheet that we're working with today will be available right in the description of this video. And there's one ChatGPT command that we'll be working with later right here. And here I will put a link to this video so that if someone shared this sheet with you, you'll be able to find it. All right, here is the version of this sheet that I've been working with. So I basically just went to File and Make a Copy, and I modified a couple things, and I filled out the brand name, the main content platform, secondary content platforms, and the main topic. Once you have this top part filled out, you can do the rest entirely on your own, or you can do the rest entirely with ChatGPT. I would recommend starting using your own knowledge, or if you're doing this for a client, then make sure you've interviewed them properly so you can do it with their knowledge, and try to plan at least the first few pillar topics and subtopics yourself. Then you can use ChatGPT to add more and to expand those subtopics out into many article headlines very quickly. And so I planned the 4 pillars as I see them of my main topic over here. I created 4 subtopics for each of them, which gives me a total of 16 subtopics. And the ChatGPT command is write a list without numbers or bullets of 20 content titles for each subtopic in pillar 1. So the way that I did this is I just started right here as I just clicked. And so the way that I did this is I just selected all of the pillar topics and subtopics like this. And then I hit Control C. And then over here in ChatGPT, I said data : and then I pasted all of that. And then I said prompt : and I wrote the prompt. And this was an earlier version of the prompt that I ended up improving. So the version that's in the spreadsheet here is a more developed version, which is write a list without numbers or bullets of 20 content titles for each subtopic in pillar 1. And so you give it the data of the pillar topics and the subtopics. Then you ask it to create a list of titles for each pillar. And you can do more than one at a time. I just recommend doing one at a time. It's a little bit easier to manage. And so you can see I got a ton of titles here when I asked it to do the first 2 pillars at the same time. And then I modified the command a little bit and I just asked it for 20 titles for each subtopic in pillar 3. And so that gave me this nice clean list of titles that I can just copy and move over here into my spreadsheet. And now keep in mind, you can customize this command for the title as much as you want, and I would encourage you to. So for example, you could say that you want it to focus on listicles. You could say that you want it to focus on how-to articles. You could say that you want it to focus on ensuring a high click-through rate. You could say that you want them to be comedic. You could say that you want them to be controversial. There's a lot of different ways that you could customize this prompt in order to get titles that are more to your liking. And mind you, I don't expect all of these to be amazing, but we really only need 15 or 16 titles for each subtopic in order to hit 260. And I asked for 20 for each. So that's going to give us a few that we can just get rid of if we don't like them. And what I find when I'm using ChatGPT to brainstorm titles like this is that most of the titles it comes up with aren't amazing, but most of them are addressing some sort of a unique topic. And even if the title is not something I want to use, it's something that I can edit or rewrite into a really good title in about 5 seconds of thinking. So as far as creating a bunch of really targeted, topic-driven titles in 10 or 15 minutes, this is one of the best ways that I've come up with to do that. Now, if you want to do this more on your own without as much AI assistance, I absolutely encourage that. And so if you want to go with a less AI-assisted route, I would recommend using your own knowledge or your client's knowledge or traditional research to come up with the main pillar topics, aim for like 3 to 6, and then go out and start searching those topics on platforms such as the main platforms that you're planning to publish to, as well as other platforms like Amazon Kindle, like Udemy, other online course and book platforms, and any other publishing platforms that you want to look on. And when you're searching those pillar topics, you're going to get a lot of subtopic ideas. And just as importantly, you're going to see what's actually popular. You're going to see which topics are actually getting a lot of attention. You're going to see which types of content creators are getting the most attention because of the types of topics that they're writing about and which topics are the most popular for them. And so even if you do want to go the AI assisted route, I would still highly recommend that you do that kind of research. But that's the kind of thing that I think most people know how to do. They just don't. And I think I do have a couple ordinary market research videos on my channel. But let me know if you need help with that. Otherwise, I think we covered everything here that you need in order to plan a year's worth of titles. Again, remember to go to the special secret tab here so that you can use this link to get all of my ChatGPT marketing prompts. There's like 25 plus on there right now, and they're really easy to work with, really easy to modify in order to get ChatGPT or whatever other AI writing assistant you're using to write exactly what you want. And when you put your own brain together with an AI assistant and this spreadsheet, you're going to have no problem coming up with all the content ideas you could possibly imagine. But I do highly encourage you to do the research as well, because it's one thing to come up with a whole bunch of titles. It's another thing to pick the right titles to publish at the right time and to actually create that content in a way that people find really engaging and resonant. But you can't skip the research, but when it comes to actually drafting a list of 260 content topics in less than 15 minutes, that's easy to do. Remember to like, share, subscribe, share this video with someone who might find it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.